Hi everyone. So, I was just gonna make this video, but apparently the screen recorder app left me again, and I don't know what's gonna happen next. So, these are 5 things I want to talk about Fnaf. Let me just go through this carefully. Okay. So, 1. Cameos, the joy of creation. 2. The joy of creation. 3. Help you sexually Glamrock Freddy. 4. FNAF sister location actually ties in the FNAF timeline. Oh, I said tries. Sorry, ties. Ties in the FNAF timeline. And 5. Michael Afton being neglected by William. So, I first want to go into FNAF sister location actually ties in the FNAF timeline, because it's not, it was originally, people thought it was originally supposed to be some sort of a spin-off because it didn't say FNAF 5, okay. So, there's a cutscene at the end where Michael says to his father that it's me, and that Circus Baby and the rest of the Fountain animatronics thought that Michael was William, that Michael was his father. And at the end, Springtrap emerges from the Fazbear Fright's location that was burned down, and leading obviously into FNAF 6. That means that William Afton is indeed Purple Guy and Springtrap. And even if the FNAF series just ended with FNAF sister location, that would have been totally fine, but it just needed a proper closure, because at the same time, Springtrap wasn't fully killed, or Purple Guy or William Afton. He wasn't killed. He wasn't dead. He wasn't sent to hell. He escaped the FNAF 3 fire, and this is just getting stupid. So, I mean, like I said in the last video involving someone else's, FNAF 1 was originally supposed to be that one movie. No, that one game. It was just a standalone game about a security guard working 5 nights at a pizzeria, working at 12 o'clock at midnight until 6 a.m., surviving 5 nights from animatronics possessed by missing children, which sounds simple enough, but then it became an entire series with sequels and a bunch of story lore. Okay, this is just getting stupid. So, even though Sister Location is a spin-off, would have been a spin-off, it still takes place in the FNAF universe. And there was also something about not real name, not at all, seen in one of the hot takes said by one of the commenters, saying that the Purple Guy and William Afton should have been 2 separate people. And I would possibly agree with that, because in the hidden lore, FNAF creepypasta with with Zapper to 770s version, there's Hidden Lore 3 episode 1 that involves the beginning involving William Afton in the hospital. Peter Wotaker, the that the Hidden Lord's purple guy, being in the hospital next to the crying child who's in the hospital bed. William Afton approaches him and sort of brainwashes him, and yeah, I'm yeah, this was stupid. Now this is just stupid to talk about. So, Michael being neglected by his father William. When Michael was born, William at first did not want to be a father. He even tried to deny that the kid was his. And William was also busy with work. He was busy with this, he was busy with work. But he later came around to be a father for his other children, Elizabeth and Evan. And like I said in one of my videos, William Afton became a narcissist after Evan's death. Michael was neglected so much by William because even when William became... Sorry. When William actually became a father, I feel like he just didn't like Michael, because even though he was his first kid, he just didn't want to be there for him, I guess. So, being neglected so many times caused Michael to go down a bad path, ended up in a bad crowd, and ended up being a bully to his siblings. Mostly Evan. And you all know how that turned out. Yeah. So, I saw this story explained video by Gamer Salt and about the joy of creation, and it's good and you know what? It's a good thing that nobody mentions or talks about the joy of creation anymore, because now that I know the story, yeah, it's completely fictional. It doesn't have a happy ending. It just involves animatronics, the animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's that are actually demons, which is really, really fucked up and scary. So yeah, it's a good thing that nobody talks about the joy of creation. And that should be the last of it.
Is the inability to trust anyone.
You know what? I no longer care about unavailable videos anymore.
Believing that she is there to rescue Gregory, only to have her own compassion and her friend's voice turned against her. Her trust in him being what pushes her onwards despite her reservations. She also trusts in... It should be noted that there's a yellow...
Even Inferno might have confirmed that Mimic did indeed drop the elevator. Hobie is also involved with the Mimic because when Hobie has yellow eyes, he's misleading Cassie. And the Mimic is obviously controlling it because he also has yellow eyes, even though they either look red or orange. Or just plain white.
Light on the camera watching Cassie in the elevator. Something that's a little unusual. So that would be the incredibly short story of Helpy, but in upper form and sees an image through the Vanny mask while Mimic's chasing her. She sees an image of Gregory and Vanessa sitting atop a hill eating ice cream, like featured in the Saved Vanny ending. The Helpy looks like the design from the original security breach and is eating an orange ice cream with little blue lightning bolts on it. If it is, there's no evidence suggesting it currently. I think we might finally have a real Helpy. But there has been this, I give her the illusion of a happy ending when he's tearing her apart, his MO or personality. But one that doesn't match the...
Actually, yeah, that wouldn't make sense. Actually, yeah, the illusion thing of, Cassie seeing through the veiny mask of an illusion of Gregory and Vanessa being safe, sitting on a hill eating ice cream wouldn't be part of Mimic's plan. And Cassie's just hallucinating, because obviously the Brazil ending, and it's most likely that Mimic just kills Cassie. Yeah.
One from the mask. I mean, I know endings can simply be entirely detached from reality. I'll get back to that in a minute, that's important. In the original Brazil ending, the one from the movie, the hallucination is the same. How do you be, assuming it's been a while since the Pizzaplex closed, his friends, cast a companion. Remember, the prize counter was selling staff bots. Robot toys are probably not that unheard of. Of course, we also see the missing Gregory poster, so it's also possible that Gregory's been missing for an extremely long amount of time, and then Cassie gets just this random message and decides to go after him.
I'm guessing
It's unclear,
it would.
but my point still stands that
It would also be part of Cassie's imagination or part of the Mimic's plan.
That the discourse on theorizing has gotten to the point where I had to write 3 paragraphs to not immediately be written off by the inevitable comment that tells me the Brazil ending isn't real, and it doesn't mean anything, and that Helpy is just there because it's there, and Steelwool wasn't looking that far into it, even though Steelwool went out for mucking around. But much discourse surrounding speculation on the plot of Fnaf. Like, there's a handful of people who are allowed to throw out any theory or speculation,
yes,
no matter how outlandish it is.
Yes.
And then anybody else gets an amount of pushback unless they line up exactly with what they're saying.
Yes.
Theorizing is one of the things that built Fnaf. It made Fnaf fun, and the series is still built around...
Kind of, but I wouldn't think that theorizing in Fnaf is fun. It's now a hassle. It's complicated. And for me, I'm trying to make a timeline involving the complete lore of Fnaf to make it more similar, to make sense about the details in the actual story. Minus the books.
Answers. So why is it now that there's just a thought? Plenty talking about and then Bonnie, even who believe Ruin Freddy is or isn't Glamrock Freddy, you must admit that moving Glamrock Freddy around in public and fueling his massive body with electricity would be a hassle.
True.
Especially when Gregory says they can't be found, if he doesn't just mean by the Mimic. It would be beneficial to have Glamrock Freddy in a more compact body, and this little Helpy would work like a charm. Security breach takes place far enough in the future where robots like the staff bots aren't too shockingly state-of-the-art, and as I said earlier, you can win them at the prize counter. So having a little toy robot wouldn't be too weird, especially since back in the 80s, kids had things like Theodore and...
Yeah, that would make sense, yeah.
Whether or not you believe the Save
Finger trap,
ending
plus
is
trap.
canon or the only ending or not, there is one big shining golden piece of evidence suggesting that the events of the ending at least happened, meaning that likely Glamrock Freddy was reduced to a head, in which case the only real way to give him a new body would be to downsize.
Actually, yes.
And why I find the ice cream so telling is because Gregory's ice cream is a nondescript strawberry cone, and Vanessa's is just the same. I realize that now the Helpy has a bizarrely specific ice cream, one purposefully colored like Glamrock Freddy, and the Pizzaplex is gone, so it's not like you can say that he got it from there. Why else is this detail here? Because Steelwool has proven that they are willing to sew in purposeful details.
Yes, especially in Fnaf 4 with the toy animatronics, well, being literal toys, in the Fnaf 4 minigame. They're just cameos. It's not that important anymore, especially with the whole dream theory thing. I hated that theory, I really did. But Glamrock as now Helpy makes sense, but it still doesn't explain why there's a prototype instead of the original shattered Freddy's body. But then again, the whole theorizing thing was a mess, even after Ruin came out, and people were already making theories about it. It was a mess, and I'm not gonna get into it again. So yeah. Bye.